Trent Dilfer. Trent Farris Dilfer, born March 13, 1972, a former American football quarterback and analyst who played in the National Football League (NFL) for 14 seasons. He is best known as the starting quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens during their Super Bowl winning season in 2000. Dilfer was selected in the first round of the 1994 NFL Draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he played 6 seasons. He signed with the Ravens in 2000 as a backup before becoming the team's starter midway through the year, which concluded with the franchise's first Super Bowl victory in Super Bowl XXXV. Despite the championship, Dilfer was not re-signed by the Ravens, becoming the first starting quarterback to be released after a Super Bowl win. His next 4 seasons were spent primarily as a backup with the Seattle Seahawks, and he had short stints with the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers before retiring in 2008. Shortly after announcing his retirement, Dilfer was hired by ESPN as an NFL analyst, a position he held until 2017. He is also the head coach of Elite 11, a quarterback camp featuring 24 of the nation's best high school quarterbacks in a 49-day-long training camp. Since 2019, Dilfer has served as the head football coach at Lipscomb Academy. Early years. Dilfer attended Aptos High School in Aptos, California. College career. Dilfer attended Fresno State, starting at quarterback for 2 seasons. Dilfer helped Fresno State win or share the conference title for 3 straight seasons and started in 2 bowl games. In his junior season, Dilfer led the nation in pass efficiency en route to being named the WAC Offensive Player of the Year. He also set the INCA record for consecutive pass attempts without an interception, 271, that stood until 2007, when Kentucky quarterback Andre Woodson broke it. He then declared himself eligible for the 1994 NFL Draft, foregoing his senior season. 1992, 188/360 for 3,000 yards with 21 touchdowns vs 14 interceptions. He also ran for 90 yards with 2 touchdowns. 1993, 254/396 for 3,799 yards with 30 touchdowns vs 5 interceptions. He also ran for 1 touchdown. He also won the Sammy Baugh Trophy for top collegiate passer. Professional career. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dilfer's professional football career began when he was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their first pick in the 1994 NFL Draft, 6th overall, and the second quarterback taken in the draft, after Heath Schiller and ahead of Perry Klein after his junior season at Fresno State. And the Indianapolis Colts passed on Dilfer in the draft in favor of Trev Alberts. ESPN draft expert Mel Kiper, Jr. heavily criticized their decision. This led to Colts GM Bill Tobin responding on television by asking who in the hell is Mel Kiper, and challenged Kiper's credentials to evaluate the draft. This exchange is often shown as one of the classic moments of ESPN draft coverage. Enlisted as the starter in his second year, after seeing spot duty in his rookie year, Dilfer struggled during what was still a dark period for the Buccaneers as a whole, when in 1995 he threw only 4 touchdown passes but 18 interceptions. The following year, he showed moderate improvement by upping his touchdown production, but failed to improve his turnover numbers, recording a career-high 19. The following season, a year that Tampa's offense was aided by the arrival of rookie Warrick Dunn and the emergence of Mike Alstott. In the first 12 games of that year, Dilfer passed for 2213 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. However, Dilfer's performance was perceived to decline in his last 4 games. In the playoffs, the Buccaneers defeated their NFC Central rivals, the Detroit Lions, before losing to their longtime division rivals and defending Super Bowl champions, the Green Bay Packers. While with the Bucs, he won more games than any quarterback in franchise history and took the team to their first playoff game in 15 years. In a 1995 game against Minnesota at the Metrodome, Dilfer was ejected for throwing a punch at Vikings defensive lineman John Randall. As of 2020, he is the only quarterback in NFL history to be ejected. Dilfer threw for 21 touchdowns with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in both the 1997 the 1998 NFL seasons. In the 1996-1999 NFL seasons, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dilfer averaged 27-29 yards a season and had a total of 58 touchdowns. His inconsistent play continued, and in Week 10 of 1999, he was injured severely, missing the rest of the season. Baltimore Ravens. Dilfer signed with the Ravens on March 8, 2000, and became the backup for Tony Banks. After 2 straight losses and 4 straight weeks without an offensive touchdown, the Ravens replaced Banks with Dilfer. The Ravens would lose their 3rd straight game and fail to score a touchdown for the 5th straight week. It would be the last time the Ravens would lose a game that season or go without a touchdown. The Ravens finished the season winning 7 straight to earn a wild card berth at 12-4. The 7-1 run also gave Dilfer a 45-39 record as a starter at that point. During the playoffs, Dilfer went 3-0, and the Ravens advanced to Super Bowl XXXV in Tampa, Florida to meet the New York Giants. The Ravens won their first Super Bowl title in a 34-7 blowout, which saw Dilfer complete 12 of 25 passes for 153 yards and 1 touchdown. Although one of Dilfer's passes was intercepted by linebacker Jesse Armstead and returned for a touchdown, the pick six was negated due to a holding penalty against the Giants. The Los Angeles Times described Dilfer as a game manager quarterback for the Ravens that season. He wasn't elite, but he didn't make costly mistakes and was supported by a dominant defense. Dilfer wasn't re-signed by the Ravens, making him the only quarterback to be let go after winning a Super Bowl. In a 2021 interview, Dilfer acknowledged that he still felt bitter about the Ravens releasing him, stating he played through injury during the season. He also criticized his successor, Elvis Grbac, who posted lower statistics with the Ravens. Seattle Seahawks. On August 3, 2001, the Seattle Seahawks signed Dilfer, a backup quarterback, to starter Matt Hasselbeck. Dilfer saw his first action when Hasselbeck injured his groin in Week 3 against the Oakland Raiders. Dilfer started and won the next 2 games before being replaced by a healthy Hasselbeck. Dilfer came on in a relief role against the Washington Redskins when Hasselbeck struggled. He continued as the starter when Hasselbeck suffered a separated left shoulder. Dilfer started the final 2 games of the season, and with Seattle in the playoff hunt, won them both. He ended the season by throwing 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 2 3-point victories. The Seahawks AFC. They were still in the AFC in 2001. Wild card hopes ended when the Ravens beat the Minnesota Vikings 19-3 on Monday Night Football. At the end of the season, Dilfer's passer rating was 92.0, and he had won 15 straight starts. Partially because the Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback, Hasselbeck, was coming off a season where he went 5-7 as a starter and threw 8 interceptions and 7 touchdowns, Dilfer was re-signed by the team to a 4-year deal on March 1 and was slated as the starter heading into training camp. However, in an exhibition game against Indianapolis, Dilfer sprained his medial collateral ligament in his right knee. With the injury, Dilfer lost the starting job to Hasselbeck. Dilfer returned to the starting position against the Arizona Cardinals with a 13-24 loss. On October 28, 2002, in Week 8, he suffered a season-ending torn Achilles tendon against the Dallas Cowboys on the synthetic turf at Texas Stadium. At that point in the season, the Seahawks were 2-5. In 2003, Dilfer played sparingly in a relief role and was primarily used to mentor Hasselbeck. In 2004, Dilfer started in only 2 games and won them both, November 28 versus the Miami Dolphins, 24-17, and December 26 versus the Arizona Cardinals, 24-21. Hasselbeck and Dilfer remain close friends since their time together in Seattle. Cleveland Browns. In March 2005, Dilfer was traded to the Cleveland Browns, where it was hoped would mentor rookie quarterback Charlie Frye. Naming Dilfer the starting quarterback for the 2005 NFL season, the idea was to work Frye into the lineup under the veteran's tutelage, but a behind-the-scenes dispute with then offensive coordinator Maurice Carthon resulted in Dilfer's wanting out of Cleveland almost immediately. In his lone season for the Browns, Dilfer passed for 23-21 yards and 11 touchdowns, throwing 12 interceptions, and fumbling 9 times, losing 7 of those. His passer rating was 76.9. He did, however, have the highest completion percentage of his career at 59.8%. The Browns would fall to 6-10. San Francisco 49ers. In May 2006, Dilfer was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, this time to serve as a mentor to the 2005 first-round draft pick Alex Smith. In return, the 49ers gave the Browns Ken Dorsey and a 7th-round pick in the 2007 NFL Draft. A close friend of former 49ers quarterback John Brodie, on September 30, 2007, he would go on to start for the 49ers in games against the Seahawks, Ravens, and Giants before conceding the starting spot back to Smith. However, with Smith's effectiveness in question coming back from injury, coach Mike Nolan announced on November 14, 2007, that Dilfer would be the starting quarterback. Dilfer would go on to start in games against the Rams, in victory over the Cardinals in overtime, and against the Panthers. On December 9, in a home game against the Vikings, Dilfer suffered a head injury resulting in a concussion while diving for a first down on 4th and 2 that took him out of the game and subsequently the season. He was succeeded by third-string backup Shaun Hill. Retirement. Dilfer officially announced his retirement on July 9, 2008. Although he had suffered an Achilles tendon injury playing basketball earlier in the offseason with his wife, Dilfer stated that he was planning to retire anyway. In 2009, Dilfer was inducted into the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame. NFL career statistics. Regular season. Broadcasting. Dilfer joined the NFL Network as a guest analyst in 2006. On September 15, 2007, he appeared on the NFL Network's pregame show. He was the NFL Network's color analyst for the 2008 Senior Bowl, as well as a studio analyst during the 2008 NFL playoffs. On July 14, 2008, Dilfer signed on as an NFL analyst for ESPN. In 2010, it was announced that he would join Brad Nessler to call the second game of the network's Monday Night Football doubleheader on September 13 of that year. Dilfer also coined the phrase "turned a stinky sandwich into an ice cream cone," which means that a player has turned a potentially negative play into a positive one. ESPN dismissed Dilfer in a cost-cutting move in April 2017, replacing him with Rex Ryan. Dilfer is a football analyst for Fox Sports 1, appearing regularly on The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Coaching career. In 2019, Dilfer quit working at ESPN to coach the Lipscomb Academy football team. In his first year, the team went 5-5 and got knocked out in the semifinals. The next season, in 2020, Dilfer went 8-2 and led the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs to the 2020 Division Roman II Class AA state championship game against CPA Christ Presbyterian Academy. They played the championship game on December 3, 2020 in Cookeville, TN, at Tennessee Tech University. The Mustangs lost 35-28. Personal life. Dilfer resides with his family in Saratoga, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. He is married to Cassandra Dilfer, a former Fresno State swimmer, and they have 3 daughters, Madeline, Victoria, and Delaney, and a son, Trevin. On April 27, 2003, after a 40-day illness, Trevin died of heart disease at the age of 5. On June 2, 2003, Dilfer made his first public comments regarding his family's loss and, still grieving, openly wept. Aptos High School, Dilfer's alma mater, named their football field Trevin Dilfer Field. On a broadcast of the Cardinals and Titans preseason game in 2012, Dilfer admitted he weighed 265 pounds and was drinking himself sleep during his tenure with the Seahawks. This was in regard to losing his son and how Matt Hasselbeck helped him to recover. On January 18, 2019, Dilfer was announced as the new head football coach for Lipscomb Academy in Nashville.